The Super Nintendo is packed with some of the most exciting run-and-gun games filled with fast-paced action, intense boss battles, and non-stop shooting that keeps you on the edge of your seat. This isn't just listing some 10 random run-and-gun games, it's my personal favorites that I think you'll love too. If you think I missed a great run-and-gun game, drop it in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more retro gaming videos. Let's dive into my list of 10 favorite SNES run and gun games. First game is Super Probotector, released by Konami in 1992. Super Probotector's gameplay and story are the same as Contra 3: Alien Wars. The main difference is that the player characters were redesigned to resemble robots. In this game, you play as a cyborg soldier fighting off an alien invasion, with different characters offering unique abilities that keep the gameplay fresh. The levels are tough, the enemies are relentless, and the challenge is high, but that's what makes it so exciting. The graphics and music really bring the futuristic, intense atmosphere to life. If you are into challenging run-and-gun games, Super Probotector is definitely one to check out. Next game is BOB, released in June 1993. In this action-packed platformer, you play as BOB, a robot who crashes on a hostile asteroid while on his way to a date. Stranded, he must fight through various levels to find his way back. The gameplay combines shooting and platforming elements. BOB can use a variety of weapons, including a three-way shot, rockets, and a wave gun. He also has gadgets like a trampoline and a helicopter to help navigate the levels. Each stage has a time limit, adding an extra challenge. What I like most about BOB is its humor and unique character design. The game doesn't take itself too seriously, and BOB's quirky personality shines through, making the adventure more enjoyable. If you are into run-and-gun games with a mix of humor and action, BOB is definitely worth checking out. Next game is Time Slip, released in 1993. In this, you play as Dr. Vincent Gilgamesh, who travels through time to stop an alien invasion. You'll be fighting enemies in side-scrolling levels, just like Contra 3 and Super Probotector. What makes Time Slip unique is the TGS bar. This bar drains over time, and to keep going, you need to collect time crystals to refill it. If the bar runs out, you lose a life, which makes the game more challenging. The levels are set in different time periods, like the past, present, and future. Each time period has its own enemies and challenges, so the game stays fresh and exciting. The graphics and music also match the different time periods, giving each level its own vibe. If you like fast-paced, challenging run-and-gun games, Time Slip is definitely one you should check out. Next game is Super Turrican. While most people suggest Super Turrican 2, but the first one is my favorite. In Super Turrican you play as a futuristic soldier blasting your way through enemies in side-scrolling action. The gameplay is fast-paced and you have access to a wide range of powerful weapons and upgrades. The real highlight though is the ability to transform into a ball, which helps you navigate tight spaces and gives the game an extra layer of depth. What I like most about Super Turrican is how smooth and responsive the controls are. It feels great to move through the levels, especially when you're dodging enemies and jumping across platforms. Plus, the level design keeps things interesting with new challenges and surprises around every corner. If you enjoy classic run-and-gun games with tight controls and unique mechanics, Super Turrican is definitely one to try. Next game is Super Star Wars. If you love classic run-and-gun games, this one is a must-try. In Super Star Wars, you play as Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, or Chewbacca, and fight your way through levels inspired by the original Star Wars movie. You'll blast stormtroopers, jump across platforms, and use a lightsaber to defeat enemies. It's full of action and feels like you're in the Star Wars universe. What makes this game so special is how easy and fun the controls are. It's smooth to move around, shoot, and jump, especially when you're avoiding enemies or making tricky jumps. The levels always keep things fresh, with different challenges like flying a ship or battling Darth Vader. Super Star Wars is a great mix of run-and-gun gameplay and Star Wars excitement. The music and sound effects really pull you into the world, and it's always fun to play. If you are a Star Wars fan or just love action games, this one's definitely worth checking out. Next game is Earthworm Jim. This one is a bit of a personal favorite of mine. You play as Jim, a regular worm who gets transformed into a superhero, and the gameplay is a lot of fun. It's a side-scrolling action game where you run, jump, and shoot your way through some pretty wild levels. What I like most is the unique controls. Jim can use his head as a whip, which is both fun and a bit goofy, but it adds a cool twist to the usual run-and-gun formula. The level design is solid too, with plenty of challenges, and the humor throughout the game always brings a smile. If you are into classic run-and-gun games with a little bit of weirdness and humor, I definitely recommend giving Earthworm Jim a go. It's a good time, and for me, it's one of those SNES games that's hard to put down once you start playing. Next game is Demolition Man. Demolition Man is a straight-up action-packed game, and it does a great job of capturing the feel of the movie. You play as John Spartan, who's thrown into a futuristic world to take down criminals after being revived from cryo prison. The game's a mix of run and gun and platforming, with plenty of explosions and shootouts. What stands out for me in this game is the feeling of control. Unlike other shooters where you're just spraying bullets, Demolition Man has these cool, unique weapons that actually change the way you approach combat. The story is also fun, especially for fans of the movie, with lots of familiar moments that give it a nice nostalgic vibe. What I love the most, though, is the atmosphere. The futuristic setting, the quirky enemies, and the weirdly smooth gameplay make Demolition Man a great pick if you want a game that's easy to pick up but still fun to play through. If you like run-and-gun games with a bit of strategy mixed in, and you are a fan of 90s action, this game is a good fit. Next game is Sunset Riders. If you love Wild West action, Sunset Riders is one you need to check out. It's a run-and-gun game set in the Old West, where you play as a bounty hunter chasing down criminals. The thing that really stands out about this game is the colorful, cartoon-like art style and the level of detail in the backgrounds. Every stage feels like a new adventure, from dusty deserts to bustling saloons. The gameplay is super fun with lots of action, and it's pretty satisfying to use the different weapons to take down enemies. The co-op feature makes it even more fun if you're playing with a friend. And the bosses? They're huge and over the top, really adding to the excitement. If you enjoy games with great action, fun characters, and a cool western theme, Sunset Riders is definitely one to play. next game is Doom Troopers. Doom Troopers is a brutal and action-packed run-and-gun game that throws you straight into a battlefield. From the moment you start, you are up against relentless waves of Mutant Chronicles monstrous enemies, and survival means shooting your way through every last one of them. The combat in Doom Troopers is heavy and satisfying. The weapons pack a real punch, and the dark, gritty atmosphere makes every level feel intense. What makes this game stand out is its raw, over-the-top action, enemies explode into pieces, and the difficulty forces you to stay on your toes. One of my favorite things about Doom Troopers is the co-op mode. Playing with a friend makes the chaos even more fun, and the challenge keeps you hooked. If you are into hardcore action and don't mind a tough fight, this game is definitely worth checking out. Final game is Metal Warriors. Metal Warriors is a hidden gem that not enough people talk about. It's a run-and-gun game where you control a giant mech, and the gameplay is super unique because you get to jump in and out of the mech at any time. That simple mechanic adds a ton of variety to how you approach levels. The way you can switch between controlling the mech and just walking around on foot makes for a fresh experience each time. You also have multiple mechs to choose from, each with its own abilities, so there's a lot of replay value here. The levels are well designed, and the gameplay flows really smoothly. If you like mechs and want a run-and-gun game that feels a little different from the usual, Metal Warriors is one of those underrated classics that's definitely worth your time. I hope you enjoyed my list of awesome SNES run-and-gun games. If you think there are any amazing games I didn't include, let me know in the comments. Want more videos like this? Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.